Hi, guys.
Hi.
Oh, my God, women.
Yes.
I love it. By the way, where are the men? Woo! I was like, last time I did a mummy blogger thing, there was 2 guys in the room. Yeah. My partner is the stay-at-home dad in our relationship, and I'm the breadwinner, so atta go, dude.
There you go.
I love it.
He did, like, let's face it, all of the heavy lifting on the action.
Well, I didn't lift a semi-truck. That was Mr. Rudd. And actually, me and my team of incredible stunt women, the CGI crew, the directors, I mean, it was such a collaborative effort. We did the heavy lifting. But yeah, this film, like, almost, in a way, I was like, come on, guys. Give Ant-Man a little more credit. He's pretty badass. Yeah. But it was really cool that they really wanted to honor this moment where a female superhero is being titled and billed. And I think Marvel is just absolutely hell-bent and passionate right now about representing women as fierce and capable and as, equals to men. And I think that's the most important thing is, like, is there an equality to the message? And I think that having equal billing tells us that right now in this movie there is.
Yeah. My favorite elf, my favorite fairy, I'm such a huge fan. Talking about being a superhero, right now, I have 2 little young girls, and I cannot wait to take them so they can say, I want to be the Wasp for Halloween.
Yeah. Amazing. I used to fantasize about being Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman.
Oh,
yes.
That was my. I was like, I was obsessed with her, and partly because it's Michelle Pfeiffer in a skin-tight leather costume, owning it and being fierce as. Also, I think it was because there just wasn't a lot to choose from. There just weren't very many female superheroes. It was mostly male superheroes. So, me and my sisters would sometimes be pretending to be Spider-Man or to be Batman or to be whoever else. And, I had a moment recently where my 7-year-old son was pretending to be the Wasp.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm still get goosebumps when I tell that story. It chokes me up because, that's a cultural shift. That's a big deal. For a little boy to pretend to be a female superhero, that's like, this is no small thing. And sometimes I think we're making a mountain out of a molehill because there have been female superheroes in the MCU the whole time, and they're amazing and they're strong and kick and all of those things. But I think what this moment in our culture with Me Too and Time's Up is saying is, we know we've made some progress and that's great, but we're still not equal. And that's clear by the fact that you've made 20 movies and never had a female in the title. So this is a big moment and it is a big deal, and I don't want to downplay it. I want to celebrate it and be excited about it.
So how does it feel working with Michelle Pfeiffer then? After having obsessed about her
as your mom.
I know. I was like,
all of a sudden she's your mom.
If anyone in the world says I could pass as her daughter, I'm going to kiss them forever. What? Because she's. It was a dream to work with Michelle because the weird thing as an actor, and maybe you guys experience this as journalists now and meeting actors, is that you can be obsessed with someone on the screen and then you meet them and they just destroy it for you.
Yes.
And you're just like, I wish I never met you.
And you're the opposite of that.
Oh, thank you. I'm like, I want you to be perfect, and that's impossible. Who can live up to that? Michelle can. Mother. She can. She is perfect. Like, there's no flaws. She's nice. She's generous. She's smart. She's funny. She's intelligent. She's considerate. She's talented. And, of course, she is the hottest 60-something, I don't know how old she is, you're ever going to meet. And so playing her daughter was an incredible honor, and also I had to just bite my tongue because every day I wanted to just be like, can you be my mentor? Please. And then working with Michael Douglas I was so astounded by him in the first film because I was the opposite with him. I was kind of ignorant to him. Like, I watched him in Romancing the Stone and was like, cool, great romance, he's cute. I was 8, or whatever I was. But I didn't keep up with his career. I just knew he was a big movie star. But I wasn't a Michael Douglas fan of, like, somebody who'd watched all his movies and knew his work. So when I took the job, I was like, great, Michael Douglas, big name, going to help the film, it's going to help our numbers. And then I started working with him and was like, oh, whoa. He's so good. He's such a charismatic, present, powerful human being that when he starts to perform, he just changes the molecules of the room. You're suddenly transported to the place you're pretending to be. And so when I read the script for the second film and I found out that I was going to get an enormous amount of work with him and that we would be like super close and super tactile and loving, and like we were partners after the really difficult journey we went through in the first film, that was the thing I was the most excited about, was to get to have more screen time with Michael. And Michelle, of course.
Yeah. We've been talking about, for a while, about having an all-female superhero movie in the MCU. So if that could happen, which we would love that to happen, who, in addition to the Wasp, would you love to see in that?
There's only like 6 of us. I mean, how many are there really? I think it has to be all of us.
The superheroes, the villains, everyone.
I mean, here's the thing. I want all the women in the MCU in a movie together. All of that's just rumor and gossip. None of that comes from a real place. But I'm just going to keep perpetuating the rumor. Because then maybe it'll really happen. Because Marvel love their fans and really listen to them. But I have a girl crush on Okoye.
Yes.
I mean, come on. Like, there's just no... and the thing is, like, Denai herself is Okoye. You know, she's so fierce and strong and present and, like, convicted and talented. And she's my queen. I always call her, I call her my queen. And I would love to see the Wasp and Okoye kick some together.
So I'm kind of obsessed with fight scenes.
Okay. All fight scenes in general?
In the Marvel universe, especially with the women. You mentioned Okoye, the casino fight scene I was enthralled with. Yours in the van it was just so beautiful. It was absolutely stunning. And I always ask the training that went behind that and how long it took you to nail that scene, because we're the family that goes to the drive-in so we can actually scream in our cars.
Yeah!
We don't interrupt anybody else, because we fight with the characters on the screen.
Yes, I love it! Oh my God! When I went to the Avengers premiere, you could not shut me up. And at one point, when who was in the trench? Was it Okoye in the trench who got caught by the villain? And she was like, oh, it was Black Widow.
Yes.
And no, Scarlet Witch was trapped alone, and she said, but I'm not. But she's not. Okoye says, but she's not alone. Literally in the theater at the premiere in my gown, I go, yeah! sorry. I felt it. It was like in here. Like, yes! I couldn't help myself. So that van scene, I love that you point out the van scene, because the restaurant scene is the one that everyone talks about because it's the big kind of spectacle fight in the movie. But what I like about the fact that you mentioned the van scene is the training that went into the fight. And this is like the only room where I'm like, they're gonna so get this, because usually when I'm speaking to men, I'm like, they're not gonna understand what I'm talking about. Sorry, don't. You're gonna get it. I know you're gonna get it.
I pretend.
Now you're gonna understand, because everyone's gonna explain it to you afterwards.
I'm explaining.
Is that I actually spent way less time worrying about getting my body rock hard and developing, visual muscles, as I spent in front of a mirror with my stunt doubles, making sure that we didn't just take a dude and put him in a woman's body. I didn't want to send the message that in order to be powerful and strong and capable and tough, you have to be masculine and macho and a dude. I wanted to show that we are strong because of our femininity, not in spite of it. Absolutely. I wanted to show that when Hope was Hope, and she was emotional and vulnerable and smiling and pleasant and happy and not like just a bad I wanted to show that when she was fighting by incorporating grace and elegance and femininity into the fight. And I feel like in the van, that that out the window back. I mean, it's ballet.
It was so amazing.
It's ballet. Like, no dude could do that because men can't move that way because they don't have the flexibility, agility, or the petiteness to come out a back window and in a front window. They just couldn't. And that's like, let's examine how a woman could have an advantage over a man physically because she's a woman, not because she figured out how to move like a man. And that was something that was really, I was really passionate about, and so,
That's my daughter's favorite scene in the trailer.
Cool.
I want to say I totally get that. You're actually giving me chills too. You're talking about celebrating each individual's strength, celebrating women's strength, men's strength. We all have our particular advantages, and let's not hide them.
And I'm gonna just add to that like I can't wait to see a feminine male superhero.
Yes.
When are we gonna see that? You know, because we've seen masculine female superheroes.
What's it like working with Paul? You seem like you have such a great relationship on screen.
When I first got approached about Ant-Man in the first place, my manager said, hey, you know, they're interested in you for this role. Would you be interested? And I was like, no. I don't really want to do a superhero movie. That doesn't appeal to me because I didn't like superhero movies. Because I'd never really seen Marvel superhero movies. It's a totally, I mean, he was like, wait, hear me out. So they're gonna cast Paul Rudd in the lead, and it will be Edgar Wright directing. And I was like, hold the phone. Wait, what? Paul Rudd's gonna be a superhero? I'm in. Whatever they're doing, it's ridiculous, and I love it. And it wasn't as simple as that, but it definitely was the thing that had me like, okay, I gotta go see what Marvel's doing. And I started watching Marvel movies, and I read the script, and I got engaged. And because I was a huge Paul Rudd fan. I mean, nobody in this room is not a Paul Rudd fan. I'm just like, everybody loves Paul Rudd. He's so lovable. And this is gonna sound maybe like, I don't know, like not giving him enough credit, but I really mean this because he's just so freaking talented that my favorite thing about working with Paul is watching the movie.
Yeah.
Like, because I watch it and I fall in love with him all over again. And like, I love the movie because I love Paul, and I'm in a movie, therefore, that I love. Mm-hmm. You know, the Ant-Man, when they shot Anthony, when Darren shot Anthony, and totally charming and incredible, Paul Rudd goes, oh, you're gonna pay for that. I was like, I love him.
When you're watching
We have time for one last question.
you mentioned that you got into, I read something that you got into acting by accident. Can you talk about that and what kind of motivated you then to continue to pursue it?
She was like, I have one question, and if I ask this one, she has to stay for like an hour. It's perfect. That's like, that's the longest story. That is such an enormous, like, one day I have to write a book about how you accidentally become a movie star. But it's true, it was kind of an accident. Okay, women, like, you know how when you hit puberty in high school, and before I hit puberty, I used to be called a brainiac. That was sort of my identity. I had freckles, I had buck teeth, I was scrawny, I had totally flat chested, like, and I just was like, I got A's, and you know, I was on the student council and on the soccer team and in the plays, and like, my thing was overachievement. My thing was not looking great, and my thing was not like all the boys want to date me or anything like that. My thing was like, I have abilities and I have intelligence. And then I hit puberty, and all of a sudden, my entire identity, according to the rest of the world, was wrapped up in what I looked like. And I had all kinds of boys touch me in ways I didn't want to be touched, and I had all kinds of girls hate me in ways I didn't want to be hated. And I decided that I needed to, like, just not stand out. Like, just don't be super smart. Don't be talented. Don't stand out, because if you do, you're just going to get hurt. So I spent like 5 years kind of dumbing myself down and trying to pretend to be a wallflower when clearly I'm not a wallflower. like not me. And that built up into a lot of pain. And at one point, I had been scouted on multiple occasions, and Yeah, exactly. But I had, when I was in my 20s, I had been, and I had turned down the opportunities saying, I'm more than just this. Like, that's not me. And then I had somebody very astutely say to me, what are you afraid of? I said, I'm not afraid of anything. I just don't want to be defined by being a pretty face. And that's why they want me on camera. And this person said, I think you're afraid of your own greatness. Wow. And I erupted into heaving sobs, and I couldn't stop crying. And something had broken open in me that I didn't even realize I had been doing, and I had to examine what that pain was. And when I did, I realized how much I'd been hiding and how much I'd been trying not to shine. And I decided that I would start just letting my light shine and just being unabashed about who I was in the world. And one of the ways I thought I could do that was is taking up an agent on their desire to put me in auditions. And I wanted to just exercise my brightness. I just wanted to be bold and bright. And I never really thought about the fact that auditions can lead to jobs. That hadn't factored in. It was just like, I'm just gonna go out and just shine, you know? And like, so I went out for my first audition in January or February of 2004. And in March of 2004, I was in Hawaii shooting Lost.
Wow.
I think it was my 5th maybe audition. Like, it just happened. And when they were like, oh, they want to bring you to LA for a test for the show, I was like, what kind of test? Like, multiple choice? I literally knew nothing about the business and had no, I was not thinking about jobs. I was thinking about just expressing myself. And so when I got a job, it was sort of just like, oh, okay, I guess this is what I'm doing now. And I had been in university studying international relations and political science. I wanted to be a humanitarian or a diplomat or an ambassador. It was like total 180 for me. And therefore, it was really hard. Like, I really didn't like it for a long time. But eventually, I came to terms with that one word that was spoken into my life of, I think you're afraid of this thing inside of you that feels big. And I'm still always trying to tell myself it's okay to be big. It's okay. You can go ahead and be big. Yeah. Yeah. And in this case, I get to be teeny.